Did he say he was coming or not? You want to give him a minute?
You can, and you can talk, and just, you'll call a meeting to order.
There he comes.
It's ready.
Good. I call the September 9th of 2025 meeting of the Park Board to order. First thing is consider a motion approval of the minutes from the August 12th, 2025 Park Board meeting. Do we have a motion to approve these minutes?
I motion to approve the minutes.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
I second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor? If there's any discussion, if not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. First item on the agenda is discussion of priority budget items for 2026.
So this was your homework to go home and figure out what priority items you had, and then we discuss them here. And that'll give me time to then research costs and come back to you with that consideration after that.
Does anybody have their list for items? I know I put down number one was the farmer's market.
I did the same.
I feel like we kind of agreed that. But I also will throw in the dog park because I love dogs.
The only information I'd like to add is last time I talked about the grant that we're applying for. They have changed it where the application is due November. The funding wouldn't actually be required until 2027. Most of 2026 is part of the review, and once you get the award, then the following year would be time to budget for it. We still have to show that we have the funds and are capable of doing the project in 2026, but technically it's not coming out of the city budget until 2027.
The only other one I had was maybe like the shade for somewhere around the playgrounds. That was, the few times I have been up there, I've heard people mention that numerous times, so.
I agree with that. I would like to see some trees back here by the skate park too.
Oh, like, so just doing like a lot of the tree and shade work on various
Yeah,
parks, basically.
yeah, I don't know.
We are going to implementing the larger tree planting, and we're going to start some of that this fall. So you will see the larger, instead of the saplings that we would plant and then majority of them would not make it, we will attempt with the larger trees so it has more of a significant impact. So you'll start seeing that in areas. And if everybody agrees this is a priority, then we can start here as far as one of them. Caraway Lake was another one mentioned because we lost a lot of trees there. But we will plant those at Caraway Lake farther away so we can allow for the trail to go around the top, if in the future that's added.
Anybody else have any suggestions?
Yeah, when I was going through making my list, I was thinking about what would serve the community more, what would reach more people. And I think farmer's market was number one for me personally. And then I think it was probably gonna be Webb Park, number two, just because you have more people. That, and I don't remember doing anything at Frick Park since I was a kid, so then again, I'm not familiar with all the new additions that's been over there, but Frick Park was number three for me. So that's just went in that order. For me.
At Webb Park, what would you like to see?
Sorry?
What would you like to see at Webb?
At Webb Park, just finishing up some of the trails that we saw. I mean, some of the trails are already there. I actually walked them about 2 weeks ago. It wasn't a big deal that it was gravel in some of it, but seeing that finished up and actually made a hard road and hard surface.
Yeah.
Neat.
Okay.
Have you seen, so 2 weeks, it has like the new asphalt's
The
down.
asphalt's down, right?
It's really nice.
Oh, nice.
My kids have already tested it with their bikes.
It's,
Kid approved.
I was going to put that in my reports, but I was just going to tell you now, we actually see more foot traffic in Webb Park with that addition and with obviously the playground, but there's more people just
Yeah.
doing park things again in Webb Park, so it's nice.
Being there right in the middle of all the schools too.
Yeah.
I mean, I see more traffic there than I do at any of the other places. Like Caraway Lake, I very rarely see anyone up there.
Yeah.
I do think, you know, the shade out at Caraway too, like planting trees again, I think that would definitely help too, because, yep.
Just to make it nice again.
Yep. And with the playground, the only thing I was talking about was, you know, like, I didn't know if you guys had prices on like those awnings that you see at like,
Yeah.
at other spots. That was my
I'll get
thought.
with a couple of companies and have some type of, and I would assume you're talking the new playground. That is quite a bit where I've heard, we'd
Yep.
like to see more shade.
And I understand, you know, like covering the whole thing is not, you know,
Feasible,
not real,
right.
not realistic, but, you know, if you just had an area around it where, you know, you had some
Typically
shade.
catch the morning sun and the
Yep,
evening sun, then at noon hour isn't very popular anyway, so we'll try something on each side like that.
Were we still looking at possibly adding the extra features for that playground that we saw when we first approved all that, including possibly removing the sand pit and swings?
We're still waiting on the answer on that sand. I did reach out a grant on that. I don't know when that will check. It should be happening, I think, this month is when we're supposed to be getting the announcement of the award or not. So,
Anybody else? Anything?
I just wanted to add to Jake with the shade structures, maybe look at Brick Park too, because I know they need seating too.
yeah,
They-
okay.
They bring out lawn chairs to sit, so.
Everybody agree with that? Shade it for at least mostly the younger playground?
Especially too, because Frick Park has picked up.
It has.
Since the school construction, they don't have the fields that they usually have for football. So now whereas there was one team practicing out there, there's now 3 teams practicing out there multiple times a week.
Yep, yep. Oh, yeah, please speak into the microphone, so it's better for Dana to take minutes and also for people to hear. So just kind of pull the mic a little closer to you.
My apologies.
Okay.
I can't remember we did or didn't say something about the storage containers. Like
We've talked
either-
about it, we've got prices. The cost for the privacy fence is significant enough for it to be a budget item for next year. I'll have to check back on it, but it's around 20,000, and potentially it could be less. We did get a bid from another company we're not familiar with, and we had to verify their numbers to see if it's accurate or getting something less quality.
And bleachers?
Bleachers are discussed about quite often. They're expensive. So,
Like either bleachers around the fields you guys been helping youth soccer with and the football leagues with, or even bleachers around or stands around the arena.
so the bleacher need for soccer and football typically is not the same for softball, baseball, or the arena. Most spectators for soccer and football will bring their lounge chair and sit because you don't know what flat ground you're going to be on. And especially with soccer, you want to move the field. You don't want to keep playing in the same spot. So if you have to move bleachers and the goals so you don't burn out the turf so bad, bleachers really become part of the problem. So typically with soccer, they're bringing their own lounge chairs in, having their little shade that goes over the lounge chairs now. So, and that's kind of the same for football. I know his grandson plays football, and we take our own lounge chairs to watch him play, except for when it's at the high school. And a lot of those games are at the area high schools.
And what about around the horse arena?
So the horse arena, we are transporting bleachers from fields 1, 2, and T-ball for the tractor pull, and that has sufficed to accommodate. And we kept as many of the old bleachers as we could, even though some of them are not in the best shape, but they are safe compared to what we removed.
So you don't think there's really a need to get new bleachers there, is either just a transport? 'Cause
So 99% of all events out there right now, the bleachers that are there are perfectly fine. So it'd be hard to justify spending grandstands or bleachers at the arena for one event a year.
Perfect, thank you.
I was going to ask, how many events are usually out there per year?
So this Saddle Club, that is still the name of they're the primary horse user. They've had some bad luck with their scheduling. It seems like most of the weekends that they have picked, even though we didn't have much rain, were the weekends that we had rain. But that's the primary user, and they are picking up. We are starting to see more horse people come out and just practice in the arena again. So quite honest, with the economy getting better, which I don't know if it is or not, but that's usually a sign that the economy is getting better because more people have horses. When the economy gets a little tight, you don't see the horse activity as much.
Anybody else have anything?
Is there anything that has been discussed out at Ben Oak? Like,
So we got the
Anything on there?
cross country meet coming up. We will mow that track for the cross country meet. Then what's left for this year is just to mow it down, and then next year we'll start the same until something else is prioritized different. We are getting compliments. We're not getting complaints about the condition of the park, so we're still mowing and people still feel safe out there. So we actually get a lot of use at the park of people walking, whether it's themselves or the dogs, and fishing. We try to mow around most of the ponds. It's been easier on staff to maintain for sure, so we've welcomed that change.
All right, I think that's it. All right,
I got enough to get numbers on to bring back to you the next meeting.
perfect, thank you. Now move on to new business. There is no new business discussed, so we'll move on to the next item on the agenda. Is there a park director report?
Yes, we opened a bid today. We did get one bid for the grade work at Webb Park to do the next little section of trail. It was within the estimated cost. It's up to the Board of Aldermen to approve. But with the grade work and the Advanced Asphalt Company carrying over their proposal rate of asphalt for the trail extension, we will still have a balance remaining from the project if everything goes as estimated. So this has been a pretty impressive project with everybody working together as far as numbers and how much we've gotten done with that 100,000. At least that's how we feel. So we're excited about the potential that access to the T-ball feels in a safe, accessible way will be in place by next year.
That's good.
So, Dana, do we have anything else on reports? There's a event coming up. Yes. Yeah. I'm gonna let Dana speak on this. She's been working with if you remember the competition barbecue group that comes out to the field house, we've got some good news on it.
Yeah, so we've been working pretty well with Greg Hasty, who is our contact. He runs the Booby Q barbecue competition out there. And it's going on, I think, 5 years now. They've been doing it. Really get positive response from them. And they do very well, like take care of the property very well when they come for the amount of people they have. And it's interesting because people come from actually around the world, like international teams travel in and come here to compete for this because it's right before the American Royal, so they do both. But this year we talked with them a little bit more about wanting to see what we could do to maybe have the community have a chance to come out and see it, because it's pretty cool. You don't get a chance to see something like that every day. So we worked out with them and their scheduling for what they have for the weekend to where the weekend it falls on Halloween weekend, so that October 31st, November 1st, and the November 2nd weekend. So On Friday, which is actually Halloween, they do their own thing amongst their teams and the kids that come with their families and such. So on Saturday, November 1st, we're going to work with them to do a trunk or treat event in the evening. They have award ceremonies for amongst their competition in the early evening, and so Saturday night, like, they have some free time. So starting at 6 o'clock, we're going to have a couple food trucks on hand to offer the community a chance to come a little early, get some food. The teams that are competing are going to go eat at the food trucks. So we're going to have 451 Pizza, Tacos El Sombrero, and the OG Bandits Barbecue, our local barbecue team. They're going to provide food there. And then there is also a truck called Cowpoke Corral. They're a newish truck that does like specialty coffee type latte drinks and such. So they're going to come out and be there as well. But then at 7 o'clock in the evening, all the teams competing in the competition are going to be at their spot, at their trailers, and they're going to have candy to where the kids can walk around. The parents can obviously walk with them, and you'll have a chance like to see actual professional barbecue team competitions, like their equipment, talk with them if you want, and then have the kids obviously showing off their adorable Halloween costumes and getting some candy.
Something I might add is, I always ask, well, why don't you guys serve some of the meat you're cooking to the public?
That's what I was thinking. I was
So the
like, who wants
couple
candy?
situations with that is the health department. And then the other issue, which some of the teams might be willing to get around the health department, not around it, but work with the health department. But the difficulty they have is what they serve to the public is not the same meat that they serve for competition. And so they have to bring a separate grill for the meat that they serve to public. They keep their professional grill, just one type of meat goes in it, and that's it. It's more intense than I could have imagined, but because I kept asking the question, it's barbecue again. It won't, So we try to work through that, and this was some of the other places they go to. They thought this was the best solution.
Yep. So again, Saturday, November 1st, starting at 6 o'clock is when the food trucks will open, be ready to go, and then 7 o'clock start the trunk or treat.
What will be the name of the trunk or treat event?
Trunk or treat
Just trunk or treat?
at the BBQ competition. Yep.
Cool, thank you. Is that it for your report? Or you got some more stuff for us?
And the only other thing is the fireworks. We're still reviewing the bids on. We did receive 2 bids on that. It takes a while to go through and review. We're looking at shell counts. So both of the companies that submitted a bid, one was the one that we just finished with, and another's a company that did it 1 year out here. So we do have familiarity with both. It just takes a little bit of time getting through the numbers.
Do you feel like it's worth working with the same company that we have been working with?
They've been very good to work with, even through the time, the problems, the mishap or the misfire that you want to speak of. They answered questions on that. They continue to look into it. They never found an answer from the manufacturer. They have deleted that particular water cake from their inventory. And the only water cakes that are in this are the ones we've used before and the ones that were earlier in the show. They still feel comfortable with that. They launched that water cake that misfired 200 times and never got it to do it again. So they can't identify what caused it. So.
Perfect, thank you. Is there a liaison report?
I don't have a report. I just wanted to thank Scott and park staff for the work at Webb Park. It looks really nice, and it's, like you said, it's good to see so many people out there.
And we will backfill the trail, so we're just waiting till we can get to that and do some seeding. We'll probably do all that at one time because the new grade work's going to be bare, and it's our responsibility to seed it. So once that work's done, we'll probably hit all of it. So you'll see more work.
Perfect, thank you. Are there any board member reports?
I do have an issue that I'd like, well, not so much an issue, but I wasn't at the last meeting where it was discussed that a liaison could hold a position on the board. And the meeting before that, I felt like I was misinformed and it didn't go how it should because I was given the information that I was. Decisions were made that probably should have been benched, and I didn't know that was something that we could do until I had spoke with Mayor Webb. So because of that, I would like to make a motion for redoing our election for this year.
Perfect. And he mentioned that as well last board meeting. So we have a motion to, can we do that right now, or we have to do that?
You
during
can
the
ask for it to be on the next agenda.
Okay.
So
Is that okay?
Yes.
Do I have to motion that for it to be on the next agenda, or you can just take a note?
if you want, yeah, I would, you can call a vote if you guys want it on the agenda, or if you think you got a unanimous support of it being on the agenda, that's fine too. The park board agenda is not as tough as a board of aldermen, but it'd be good for us to know that that's what unanimous feelings of the board.
So is your motion to do it now or do it in the next agenda?
We can make it for next agenda if we need.
Yeah, I'm sorry if I confused you. It would definitely be for the next agenda.
all right.
It's just if you want to make it a formal
Motion.
motion to place it on next agenda, or if you just want to say you'd like
Got
for.
you. All right. So we have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in discussion and in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion passes. All right.
Thank you.
Any other member report? I do have one thing. It came across to me with some, with a gentleman here in the community that there might be a possibility for us to either work with or partner with an outside organization or company for potential space for to help out with youth sports and sportings here in Oak Grove. I have that person's contact information. If you guys want to reach out to that gentleman, it might be something, it might not be something, but it'll be worthwhile looking at.
We'll be happy to look into it. We have not received any formal requests to the department.
For what sport? For all sports?
It's just told to me that it's potential to work with any youth sports in the area here.
Like to work? Like,
That's all I got.
okay.
You don't know, like, what they want to do? Do they want to take?
It's just potential, and then they said if they needed more information, to have the parks reach out to them and to talk.
Vague.
We are getting, and this is separate, but we are getting additional leagues requesting use of fields. So youth sports seems like it's starting to wake back up. It's not, I don't believe that's related, but we are having some other organizations reach to carry on.
And are you able to accommodate all of the different teams?
We work to accommodate, yes, absolutely, we'll do, and it's not to where we're looking for new fields right now or anything like that. There's just it happens to be that this is a potential youth soccer at a different age of what Jalen Storm's putting on now. I don't have all the information, it's just was a preliminary inquiry about it.
Perfect. All right, we have nothing else. Do we have a motion to adjourn?
I'll motion to adjourn
We
today's
have,
meeting.
sorry. We have a motion, and do we have a second?
I'll second.
Any discussion? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Meeting's adjourned. Thank you.